Now let's see if anything crifts this up. And if not, hey, cool. We'll see. My last cigarette. Achievement unlocked.
I know. But we have to do something. Are you fucking kidding me?
When is this thing happening?
Are we sure he's coming?
Yes, you'll have an opportunity to...
Wait, why are we doing this at the witching well? That
He's
seems
back.
like a bad idea.
Crooked man.
Thank God.
Motherfucker.
I mean, that's reasonable, I'd say.
Are you okay? It's been hours. We were worried you'd run into some trouble. At the Crooked Man's place.
Well, he didn't make it easy.
What happened?
It doesn't matter. He's here. We got him.
We can talk about it later.
Yes, we can.
You did well, Sheriff. I'm surprised. Not that you did well, but that, you know...
That he's here and alive.
I'm just glad you made it back in one piece.
It's about time you showed up. Now throw this asshole down the fucking well.
Yes, what are you waiting for?
You killed Lily!
She was my sister.
Could
What do you have to say for
Where the
yourself?
fuck do you get off?
Poor
You
girls.
think you have the right to
And what
just
about
do this
Faith?
to
What could
people?
they have
You're a
done to
fucking
deserve
crook!
This. You should be ashamed.
Shithole.
Everyone,
This fun watching all the
can I have your
subtitles.
attention? Thank you all for coming here on such short notice. I know normally we'd schedule a formal hearing, but considering the circumstances, I thought it best if we do this as soon as possible. The Crooked Man is charged with the murder
As
of
I
Faith
already
and...
informed your sheriff, it was Mr. Georgie Porgy who killed those women.
Mr.
not
Georgie
me.
Porgy who went through with it.
It was Georgie?
Georgie.
I don't mean to interrupt you, Miss White.
Georgie may have killed them, but you made the call.
Do I have to explain the situation to you again?
Wait a minute. So you're saying Georgie's the motherfucker who killed my sister? Well, where is he?
Yeah, you're gonna bring that shithead in too, aren't you?
Yes, Sheriff. Where is that rotten scoundrel now?
He's,
Is he still out there?
I sincerely hope not. Well, where is he?
Sheriff?
Don't worry about it. It's done.
Justice has already been dispatched. Bigby executed him.
He's... what?
Dead.
So you see, the culprit has been punished. There's no
That
need
doesn't
for
change
this.
anything. We'll deal
Yeah,
with it later,
Crooked
but
Man
right
is
now,
so-
you're the one I'm concerned
such
with.
a
You
slime
called the
ball.
shots. Georgie made that perfectly clear.
In which case, you still have a lot to answer for.
I
And
was
I
told
don't...
I would be allowed to speak.
We have to read the rest of the charges.
What other charges?
If you'd wait a moment.
I'm well aware of my rights, Miss White. Unless you plan to abandon the charter entirely.
Let her finish. Then you can have your say.
Got it?
If you insist.
Okay.
You are charged with the murder of Faith and Lily, which Georgie carried out on your order, inciting violence against various members of the Fabletown community, including the attempted murder of Sheriff Bigby Wolf,
Twice.
A misunderstanding.
aiding and providing monetary support for the forced prostitution at the Pudding and Pie. Additionally, you are charged with multiple counts of fraud, extortion, racketeering, and the illegal possession and sale of magical artifacts. Now, is there anything you would like to say?
First of all, I had nothing to do with Faith and Lily, so you can strike that one from your little record book.
Sure.
Bullshit! Like hell you didn't.
Stop the charade. We know you're
Come on,
involved.
it's obvious.
And there's all the other crap.
Let's see what he
he's
has to
done.
say.
Everyone just shut up for a minute. You wanted a chance to talk? Well, go ahead.
What?
We all know he's guilty. What the fuck does he need to speak for?
The Crooked Man has committed crimes against this government and, most importantly, its citizens. These charges, if proven, are enough to justify death, upon which your body will be committed to the witching
Where it
well.
Which is
fucking
conveniently
belongs.
right behind
But we
us.
promised you a chance to defend yourself, and I won't rob you of that right.
What the
You're
fuck?
really going
This
to
is
let him
about
talk?
justice. If we're ever going to pull ourselves together and make something of this town, we have to start doing things correctly. No more snap judgments, no more secrets. We are going to treat everyone fairly, even when they don't deserve it.
This is ridiculous.
Well, here we go.
You have the floor.
And it paused
Thank
brief.
you, Miss
Okay, here we go.
White. You've all met Georgie. I don't have to tell you what kind of person he was. He was a total scoundrel, lacking in any sort of moral fiber. I hired him as a favor to his family, you see. A promise kept to a dying mother.
Oh,
Are you gonna
jeez.
get to your point or what?
Wondering that too.
Georgie was working for me, yes. But he was not acting on my behalf when he killed those women. It was his business. And for whatever reason, I'm sure only he could understand, he murdered 2 of his most faithful employees. I had nothing to do with it.
Tell
This
the
is such
fucking
bullshit.
truth for
He's
once.
always been a bit of a powder keg. It was only a matter of time.
At least
before
this part's
something like
true.
this happened.
If you were so offended by it, why'd you cover it up then? If it had nothing to do with you and your shit, then why'd you try to protect him for so long?
What cover up? I never made any attempt to hide Georgie's criminal activity from you. I learned of it myself
For
only
fuck's
recently.
sake. Any of you actually believe this bullshit?
Holly, please.
Tell them, Bigby. When you finally showed up at my door last night, wasn't I more than helpful? I answered your questions. I was willing to cooperate.
What's he talking about?
Yeah, and your goons attacked me. Did you forget that part?
They get a bit carried away sometimes, it's true. Loyal to the end.
No, that's not how that
They do it because
happened.
they want to protect me, as I protected them. You understand wanting to protect what you care about, don't you? You'd do anything. You might even give up an innocent man, just to save someone.
What's he talking about?
I really hope you're going somewhere with this.
I didn't even get to see what
I
appeared
see
at the
you want
top.
to cut right to the point. I can appreciate that. Let me explain this to you. My employees are just that, hired help. I see some of them are here among you. They are not my slaves. They are all free to make their own decisions, as Georgie was.
What about Lily? She wasn't free. She wasn't given a choice. Do you really think she wanted... that any of those girls wanted their lives like that?
I'm sorry, Holly. I'm sorry that your sister asked me for help, and I'm sorry that I decided against my better judgment to give her a distasteful job.
Right, and you kept them in debt so they couldn't leave.
Yeah, that's what you did to us. How you kept us all
You
in
forget
line.
it
Well-
was not me who put you in that position. You all act like I'm some kind of tyrant. When your government abandoned you, left you poor and helpless, sniveling on street corners, I was there to look out for you.
Yes, but
Wasn't I?
You're the fucking problem here, not us.
Really? What about Auntie
Oh, when
Green?
did she get here?
Her story is not uncommon. She left everything she had back in the homelands. Everything that matters, anyway. With nowhere else to turn, she came to me for help. And what did I do for you?
You got my tree back.
I got her tree back, and in turn we used her magic to help poor Fables get glamours. Because I helped her, she was able to make a living, provide for herself. And what did they do?
She wanted my tree destroyed, but Bigby refused.
That's right, I did.
you were gonna burn her tree? Snow, why would you want that?
I know. Snow made a mistake.
I had very good reasons for asking you to do that. She was working with Crane and the Crooked Man.
It wasn't her fault.
You can lie to yourself, but you can't lie to me. You hated Crane, and you hated him for wanting to fuck you, and you being too soft to notice what he'd do to get it. It had nothing to do with a crooked man.
We've made some mistakes. I've made some mistakes.
There you go.
But believe me, I truly want what's best for this town. And that may not always be clear right away, but I want you all to know that I care deeply about all of you. And so does the sheriff.
Yeah, right.
I can't promise you perfection. No one can. But I can promise to always have your best interests at heart.
Like you did with her?
Things haven't been great for a while now, but we'll do better at protecting you. From people like him.
The Crooked Man's been exploiting you. Exploiting your hope for a better life. You would go to him for help, and he would take that weakness and add it to his strength. And if things didn't fall exactly his way, someone would die.
I think I'm just gonna let her keep talking for now.
And I'm just sorry it took us this long to realize what he'd been doing.
They're right.
You're all still afraid of him, even now. But you needn't be. His contamination of this town is
Oh, hey,
over.
look.
and those girls will have their justice.
Even Auntie Greenleaf. Yeah, no, we got everyone. I don't know if it couldn't have ended this way, but
Very good.
don't slow
Very
clap
good.
us.
The sentiment is surely appreciated, Miss White. But it doesn't disguise the fact that these accusations are completely unfounded.
No, they're not.
The sheriff simply doesn't have a particle of evidence linking me to the
Georgie was
murders.
working for you. Bigby got a confession
A confession that nobody heard. Now, I'm no barrister, but I think such a statement would carry more weight if Bigby weren't the only one to whom Georgie spoke, especially given Bigby's history.
I didn't hear that at all.
Snow?
So, are we done?
You won't be able to talk your way out of this, crooked man.
What do you mean there's no evidence?
Maybe he's... I mean, this doesn't feel right, how we're doing this. I just
Of
need...
course it's right. This man tormented all of you for profit. Georgie
Let me
killed
just
him.
make sure I understand you. You're trying to say that I'm responsible for what Georgie did because he was working for me at the time, yes?
Yes.
Of course.
Whatever you're getting at, get to it.
If I'm to blame for Georgie's mistakes, shouldn't Miss White be held accountable for Bigby's actions as well?
Like what?
How about the way he treated poor Tweedledee when he was in your custody? He was beaten to mashed apples while under your watch.
I treated
my
him
watch.
very well.
Maybe he's right.
Did you think we'd all just let that go?
You can't be serious.
That was different.
What? You think you shouldn't be held accountable?
You're the one on trial here. Don't try to turn this around on us.
Besides, Crane was still deputy mayor when that happened. Right before you decided to kidnap him.
It was for his own protection. Oh, you're right.
He was still
dear.
against his
Crane was in
will,
charge.
though.
Sometimes it's hard to tell the difference.
That's enough.
So, you won't answer for your employees' behavior, but I must perish for
This
mine.
is completely different.
I
We all...
did not order those two girls dead. It simply never happened. Georgie killed Faith and Lily. End of story. They want to scapegoat me for their own tangled ends, but they refuse to answer for their own
This
crimes.
isn't right.
Oh, please.
This isn't the point.
We'll deal with them after we deal with you.
Listen, I
The
know...
laws apply when we need them to.
Bluebeard, please.
Everyone calm down. This isn't
I
the
mean, a
reason we're
certain level
here.
of privilege should be afforded to...
To who?
This is how it's always been.
This is what I'm talking about. We lashed our ropes to this diseased world, and ever since, which one of us has been there for you? Who filled your lives with the promise of more? Who was there while they idly played in their towers, judging you, treating you as mindless children, too stupid
Dang
to
it, we
command
already
your
had
own
everyone
destiny?
walk over to
Without
join our
me,
side.
Who will pay your rent when you're on the verge of eviction? Who will dare challenge their brutality when it leaks to our dear citizens? Who will protect you from the big bad wolf?
We will protect you from the sheriff.
Who will be the...
Bigby? Miss White?
Yes?
Excuse me,
I-
dear.
I wanted to make sure I had the chance to say something.
Why don't
What-
you
what
take a
can you
moment to
say?
catch your breath, little
What's
one?
she doing here?
I'd like to... I need to say something.
We're kind
Oh,
of in
yeah,
the
no,
middle
she
of
can now.
Bluebeard.
What?
She has something to say, and we're gonna listen. Go right ahead.
You probably don't remember me. I don't know why I was afraid to come
My
here.
dear, I don't
Just
know
shut up. You enslaved us for years. Let us hear stories about what you do. Told us we would lose everything if we stepped just one toe out of line. And we couldn't say a word about it because of these damn ribbons.
Now the Vivians.
But you know what? Now it's my turn to talk.
How are you?
I found Vivian's body. Did you kill her? Did he?
Sheriff,
No.
this is highly irregular.
Be quiet.
We need to establish some order here.
Vivian wanted you freed from the ribbons. She took her own life.
I'm sorry, I don't think I know
Narissa! My name is Narissa.
The Little
your-
Mermaid.
Hey, my dear, it's going to be just...
He ordered them dead. This fucker. Faith and Lily.
That's a lie.
I was in the goddamn room when he did it. Faith and Lily are dead because of you. The only two people who ever gave a damn about me. And now I
think
can
I'm just
finally
gonna-
say, you're an asshole.
I'm just gonna...
And I hope you rot at the bottom of the witching well for what you did.
Narissa, you heard him. You witnessed this?
He made Georgie do it. It was always him. Georgie would have never done anything without his say-so. Ever.
You're going to take the word of a stupid...
At least 5 other girls will back me up on this. We all heard you say it.
Did you now?
Looks like we found our evidence.
She saw it firsthand.
He's guilty.
Good enough for me.
Me too.
So that's it, right?
Calm down the witching well.
No, that's too fucking easy for a crook like that.
What do you mean?
He's gotta pay for what he did.
Listen to yourselves!
You're all rats, fleeing from one sinking ship to the next. So quick to latch onto whatever will keep your miserable lives afloat. This is how you want to repay all I've done for you?
What, you take 2 people's lives away and now you want mercy?
You know we can't let you go free after this.
You're done talking, crooked man. You had your chance.
Well done, then.
Now, for your sentence.
We don't have to become murderers.
What are you talking about?
He's guilty. I know that, but we don't have to kill anybody. We can imprison him. Lock him up forever. Somewhere he can never hurt anyone again.
How can we be sure he won't escape?
I can help. We'll use magic.
That's
I
not
assure
good
you.
enough.
Maybe
There will
she
be
has
more
a point.
if he isn't
Hasn't
stopped.
there been
I
enough
don't give a
bloodshed
shit.
So we get
already?
rid of
It's too
him.
dangerous.
Get him out of here.
We can send him
A lot of
Everyone,
people
listen
with
up.
opinions.
Clearly, we're having trouble agreeing on a suitable punishment. So I think
This is going nowhere.
someone needs to make a decision.
Who?
I hope you aren't suggesting yourself.
Why not?
What about a vote?
What do you think this is?
Everyone,
think-
calm down.
We should have a vote. Make it democratic.
Do you really think that's going to work?
He's right. Nobody can agree on anything.
What about Bigby?
What about him?
Yeah, what about
He was
Bigby?
appointed. He's the only official representative, really. He should be the judge.
Well, I'm not judge,
Makes sense
jury,
to
and
me.
execute.
I
You
guess
know,
it
I'm not.
does.
Okay.
Fine.
Really?
Sure?
Your vote is
This
that
isn't
Bigby
how it's-
decides.
The people want Miss White.
All right.
Okay, Mr. Wolf, it's your call.
Snow,
Just do what you think is right.
Yes, Sheriff.
Rip his head off, throw him down the
What
well.
you think is right.
Lock him up.
Teach him a fucking lesson.
No.
He has to
We
die.
can lock him
Just
away.
fucking get rid of him.
Not this
What?
way.
Oh. That's. Oh, gee! No, I can't.
I hope you all remember this moment. Think of me when you try to sleep.
you said you had a way to keep him from hurting people.
Wait, you can't
What
be
he's
serious.
done, you just gonna put him in prison?
This isn't the way, Sheriff.
You're doing the right thing.
Yes, there's a way.
All right, do it.
And then... Let's see. The North Wind Blows achievement unlocked. The Woodland Luxury Apartments, 1 day later. Yeah, I healed pretty well for 1 day later. At least I don't look nearly as bad. Is that...
Not what I was expecting.
That's actually him?
Morning, crooked man.
He's got
Oh.
a sharp tongue. I thought it would be better for everyone if he parted with it.
Thanks, Greenleaf.
Let's just call it even.
That's interesting.
Hey, Sheriff. You here to
Flycatcher?
come see the truck off? We're leaving for the farm in a few. Thought you might want to. I don't know.
I'll be down in a minute.
Okay. Great.
Cool.
This fucking
Hey everyone! You too.
Oh, Mr. Wolf, Flycatcher left his keys.
Got it. I will run them down to him.
Is everything okay? You look...
I'm I'm sorry, Sheriff. I have to take care of this. We'll talk later, okay?
Good morning, Miss White.
You're late.
Well, you know, you gotta piece things together. There's a beginning to everything. Gradual process. Wonder when we're gonna see Toad again. I mean, I imagine we're not just gonna leave that bit hanging. Especially if we're gonna see, like, Colin here with the farm. Oh, and I do have reasons for, like, why I said I was gonna enforce it for Colin and then not for Toad. I will get to that, or if not... Oh, good, Toad. Well, I'll try to, is the thing, if I remember. Because I have reasons for why I did one and not the other.
We only have like 5 minutes.
Oh, no, hey, he's already...
For fuck's sake, I don't give a shit.
He's backing up, he is.
You forgot these.
Oh, thank you. It's been pretty busy around here.
Morning, Sheriff. Nice fucking day.
Morning, Toad.
Shit. Just go grab that, would you?
It's just a farm. You don't have to be so dramatic about it.
Just why the hell did she have to send me and me boy away, huh? You promised me I'll get another chance, but Miss White said I had to go up to the damn farm anyway.
Well, you didn't get the money.
Come
You
on,
said you were gonna
Colin.
try, so I don't know.
I'm walking, all right? Calm down.
Wait, Sheriff Bigby.
What's
I
up?
have something.
Stock thing.
You know, he was up crying all night, poor kid.
Poor kid indeed.
Can you give this to Miss White, please? Dad says there's no time to say goodbye, so if you could bring it to her.
Yeah, sure.
I couldn't take them all with me, and she said she liked that one the best.
Is it the bug? It is the...
It's a willow beetle. That's a big one. They're cool, because when they're little, they have these pouches that squirt juice at you if you touch them.
I'm sure she'll love it.
She said it was pretty.
That's everybody.
What's it like at the farm? I've heard ogres live there, and they eat people in their sleep sometimes.
God, I hope not.
Toad, what have you been telling
I
him?
have to go. I want to stay here.
Well, we don't have a choice anymore.
I'm sorry, TJ. But, look on the bright side, okay? There's plenty of space to run around, and a nice river nearby so you can swim all you want.
Even in daytime?
Yeah, you don't have to worry about the Mundy seeing you. It'll be nice.
That's good.
Come on.
I think.
It won't be so bad.
Have you been there before?
No. Some of the animals aren't comfortable around wolves.
So you wouldn't know, would you?
We're all set.
Bye, Mr. Wolf.
Goodbye, TJ.
He's not gonna be happy with me. Can I give him a cigarette?
I'm sorry, Colin.
You got another one of those? How about a smoke for the road? One last time? Can't be easy getting cigs up at the farm.
Here. Just hope you can get a lighter up at the farm.
Thanks, Bigby. Always a gentleman, aren't you, Bigby? I guess I'll see you around. Stay out of trouble, okay? If you even can.
Yeah. See you around.
Maybe sooner than you think.
Ha! I wonder what that could possibly mean. Grandmaster Librarian? How... This is a random
Saying
spot to have an
goodbye?
achievement. Hey, you! Still wearing the ribbon, huh?
Hi.
Hi.
You're still wearing that thing.
It was, yeah.
Oh. Yeah. I guess I am. It's It's not easy to forget.
Yeah.
I know it seems like I should be able to. It's just...
It's okay. I get it.
Listen, I came here because I have to tell you something.
What is it?
Is it bad?
It's about what happened to Faith and Lily. I'm not sure where to start. Faith, Lily, and we had this plan. We were gonna find a way out. Leave the pudding and pie for good. But then Faith decided to get some leverage. She stole a picture of Crane and Lily together. The minute Faith stole that photo, we had dirt on one of the Crooked Man's allies. If he found out, I had no choice. You have to understand. You've seen how they kept us quiet in that place. Can you imagine the lengths they go just to silence someone who had physical evidence?
Narissa, just tell me what happened.
I freaked out, okay? I thought if I came clean to Georgie, he'd get the Crooked Man to leave us alone. We could just forget the whole thing. Maybe.
Okay, so
try
she
again in a
didn't
few
kill
years.
You what?
Faith.
So I told him everything. And I begged for mercy for all of us. I didn't want anyone to die over a picture.
I mean,
You were just trying to protect them.
Yeah. Georgie promised he'd smooth things over with the Crooked Man. But then... Oh, God.
I'm just gonna...
I don't know what happened, but that night at the club, Georgie came back and told me things had changed. He had to make an example of us. We had committed treason.
Oh, wow.
And while the two of us were sitting there, as he was telling me this, Faith walked in, and I had to watch while Georgie...
Wait, so Georgie told you all this? Not the Crooked Man? Back at the well, you said...
I know what I said.
But it wasn't the truth, was it?
What does it matter? I know the Crooked Man did it. So what if it wasn't the whole truth? It was true enough.
So you think that makes it okay to lie?
I know he ordered their deaths. I wasn't gonna let him get away with it because of a stupid technicality. Especially after... that night, after Faith. I tried to warn Lily, but she wasn't with her scheduled appointment.
Oh.
So I did the only thing I could do. I left Faith's head at your doorstep.
Oh, you started the investigation.
I walked her over here, and I left her. Just hoping that maybe if I couldn't save them...
You were trying to get my attention. So you started all this.
I didn't expect
I
that.
just pointed you in the right direction. People like us get forgotten all the time. The Crooked Man was counting on that. When we suffer, we do it in silence. And the world likes it that way. We just fade, like we never existed. I couldn't watch that happen to Faith or Lily. Nobody cares about us. Not really.
That's not true.
It is. You've just never seen it before. But now you have. You'll make things right. You and Snow.
I don't know. Seems like no matter what I do, it's just not enough for her, or anyone. I just can't win with these people.
I know it might feel that way, but they need you, Bigby. Both of you. You two make a good team.
We do make a
The
pretty
way you
good
look
team.
out for each other, and look out for us. You don't see that a lot these days. Look, Bigby. After everything you've done for us, maybe they don't want to admit it, but without you, none of this would have happened. You listened when no one else would.
I mean, when you find a
knew when
head
to
at your
show mercy,
doorstep.
and you brought justice to this town. Finally. Because you brought the Crooked Man in, everyone saw who he really was. So from where I'm standing, you did the right thing.
Well, thank you.
You've been given this job for a reason. And I left Faith at your doorstep because I knew if anyone stood a chance against the Crooked Man, it was you.
I hope I've at least done some good here.
You've changed this place. For better or worse. Fabletown wouldn't be the same without you.
I hope it would be worse without me. I mean, you know, no, nothing bad against Fabletown. I just hope what I'm doing is making it better.
You're not as bad as everyone says you are.
Oh, that's funny, because that's what Faith said.
I need to tell you something.
I have to tell you something.
I feel like we've met before.
You're trying to place me. You like my ribbon? Do you like it?
Faith wore one too. Would hide her beauty so she could escape his kingdom.
They used to call me the Little Mermaid.
Did Dr. Swinehart ever get back to you about Faith?
He said he wanted to run more tests. I hope you find what you're looking for.
You know, maybe another day. For now, maybe we could just get some rest. I know I need it.
I'll see you around, Wolf.
I don't even know what all that means. That's trippy. Well, that's the end of episode 5, so let's look now at these choices. And I got an achievement and I was too slow to read what it was, but I got it. What did you do to Georgie? You and 68.6% of players killed Georgie. Did you give the Crooked Man a trial? You and 89.6% of players brought the Crooked Man back alive. Okay, so most people didn't kill him right there. I wonder how short that would have cut this last episode, you know? How did you punish the Crooked Man? You and 47.4% of players chose to imprison the Crooked Man. And given that there were 3 options, this is the majority, right? I mean, yeah, because otherwise, yeah, interesting. Did you accept TJ's gift for Snow? People, it's weird to even think you could say no to that. You and 98.5% of players decided to accept TJ's gift for Snow. And what were your last words to Narissa? You and 54.8% of players said, I hope I've done some good here. I didn't realize that that was a big choice. That is interesting. Still, okay, well, I mean, I guess... Oh, wait. Special stats. Okay, Beauty. You impressed her with your detective skills. Bluebeard. You fought him after the interrogation. Colin. You gave him a drink when he asked for one in your apartment. You sent Colin to the farm. Crooked Man. You took him back to the witching well. You imprisoned him. Faith. You gave her money after the fight with the woodsman. Gren. You drank with Gren after Lily's funeral. Snow. You brought her along with you to the trip trap. You promised to bring the Crooked Man back alive, and we did. Tiny Tim, it calls him Tiny. You chose to wait for him. I did. TJ, you accepted his beetle and promised to give it to Snow. Toad, you stood up for him when Snow wanted to send him to the farm. And then I sent him to the farm. Well, here we go. Again, end of episode... Is there gonna be more? Nope, that was the end of episode 5, which means it's the end of The Wolf Among Us. So now to talk about this a little bit. So first, just episode 5. Alright, so how did it start? Okay, we were in the meeting, all that stuff. I guess I'm gonna be jumping around. So just to talk about the Crooked Man, I guess. I hate people like him. It's so terrible when you just, like, there are those, again, those slimy bad guys who just know the law so well that they find all these loopholes and, again, the technicalities like Narissa talked about. And, you know, worm their way through where they're like, oh, I'm not guilty of anything. I just did this and said this and whatnot. But, you know, he's totally, you know, he's a bad guy. Has he helped people? Yes, I'm not gonna say he hasn't helped people, but like at what cost and what has he done beyond that? He's helped people and he's really hurt people. Too bad, you know, well, not too bad things, but definitely a bad thing. He was definitely guilty, even if he didn't kill Lily and Faith himself, even if he didn't exactly tell, like, if it was a genuine misinterpretation and Georgia killed them for no good reason kind of thing, then, like, yeah, no, he's still guilty of a number of other things. Kidnapping just for one of Crane. It is kidnapping, even though Crooked Man said it was for Crane's own protection. It was against Crane's will, therefore, yeah. So, Crooked Man was just a bad guy. He knew his way with words and he knew the law, and so he could work his way around it. And I'm happy with the decision I made in the end to imprison him. I think it's funny how he was imprisoned, and I'm not sure that that's a much better life than... Well, I guess it's a life, so, you know, take that for what you will. That was definitely interesting. I find it interesting how we don't get to see what actually happened to people in the end. We saw that Georgie died, obviously, and you, that's all I saw. We saw that Georgie died, so we know what happened to him, obviously. We saw what happened to Vivian, we saw what happened to the Crooked Man, kind of what happened to Auntie Greenleaf, to Grendel, to Holly. You know, we saw them, like, in the line and everything, to Jack and Hans, but we don't know about the Tweedles, I'm pretty sure. I don't remember seeing the Tweedles, I don't remember seeing Jersey Devil, so I don't know what happened to those guys. Those were bad guys. Like, sure, part of it was, continue the story, pick up a graphic novel today. I actually have a few of those, I just haven't read them yet. Right, well, partly because I didn't want to be spoiled, and partly because I don't read often. But yeah, I don't know what happened to those guys, and they were pretty bad on their own. Granted, worse, I think, working for the Crooked Man. But, you know, like Tweedle and Jersey Devil and all that, they were not great people. They were also slime balls, so who knows what's gonna happen. I'm glad Flycatcher actually got a job. That was cool. You know, it is a shame that Colin and Toad and TJ had to be sent to the farm, but again, within the society that they've created, the Fables, yeah, you kind of have to... You have to deal with that sort of thing. If you're living in the world with Mundies, you know, mundane, ordinary people, you can't give away that secret, because it would be madness. So yeah, if you can't afford to be glamored, I think, yeah, you have to go to the farm. And it was a bit of a shame, you know, I intended to help Toad by giving him the money that I'd taken from Crane. Oh, which I just realized, we actually didn't wrap anything with, you know, nothing was wrapped up with Crane. All we know is that he's going to Paris, I'm pretty sure, France, somewhere out there. We didn't actually see or hear anything from him since episode 4, so that's weird, I think, but whatever. It's like there was, yeah, an opening for season 2, and maybe there will be, but this wasn't called Wolf Among Us season 1, I don't think. It was just called Wolf Among Us. Maybe there'll be a sequel. I don't know. If so, I'll probably play it at some point, because this was a good game. I enjoyed this game. The only hesitation there was because I'm like, should I talk about this now? But yeah, no, I did enjoy this game. But back to other characters and happenings and whatnot. What specifically? Again, it was a shame that Georgie had to die. Okay, just hammer this point in. Crooked Man was guilty. There we go. But yeah, it was a shame that Georgie had to die. I'd rather imprison him as well. But, you know, that obviously was not able to happen. Between the options of kill him or leave him to die, I think that a mercy killing is better in that situation. I mean, why drag it out? The only thing there that made it bad was that the Crooked Man then tried to spin it on me like, oh yes, Bigby executed him, you know, and all that stupid posh stuff, but whatever. Very interesting at the end of the, I know, like I said, jumping around, very interesting at the end of the episode, how, you know, Narissa and Lily, or not Lily, and Faith, I'm not sure what exactly that all meant. Like, was it trying to say that Faith at the beginning was Narissa? Was it trying to say that they were just linked? Is there a deeper magic that's connecting everything in some way, like some other mystery? Is Narissa behind more than we had initially, you know, pictured? Or I don't know what it meant. I did find it very interesting that it gave you the option to go after her or to let her go, but you know, that's what I'm most surprised by. Like, in the, you know, at the end of every episode, it gives you the percentages of what you compared to other players did. And it showed me what I last said to Narissa, not whether or not I went after her. That's what I was curious about. I wanted to see how many people went after Narissa. But, you know, that was just trippy. And you know, it didn't sound like she was leaving or gonna kill herself or anything. Oh, I'll jump to that. And so, you know, why bother chase after her if I don't know what it means? Whatever. Now, it's the little aw that I did. What about Woody? What about the woodsman? I talked about at the end of episode 4 how I thought it would be cool if he actually was able to redeem himself from this point. Well, you know, went in and played some part in taking the Crooked Man and, you know, avenging the girls, but no, he just walked off. So I don't know if he's dead or if he's just wandering at this point. I don't know. It's kind of sad. I liked him as a character, you know? He made mistakes, and it was definitely a bit of a sad case, but, you know, he didn't seem like a terrible guy. Again, definitely mistakes and temper and drunkenness and everything, but I saw good in Woody. I'll leave it at that, I guess. That's a shame. Reasoning, yeah, I did remember this, actually. Hey, to go back to this, with Colin and Toad about going to the farm. Why I sent Colin, and why I didn't actually say I was gonna send Toad. So, again, Colin, well, I enforce the rules in the sense that I think that if you can't afford a glamour and you look like, you know, a magical creature kind of thing, you have to go to the farm. Because this is it's a pretty... what is it? I mean, it's a shaky kind of community in the sense that if something went wrong, things could go terribly wrong. If the Mundys found out, things could explode. So you couldn't have that happen. Toad, though, he was trying, or at least he had a plan of how he could, you know, like, fix things. And since I had the money from Crane's, you know, suit pocket or whatever, then I figured, you know, I could give him the money, and then that would sustain him, because he said he just needed enough to pay his glamours, and then we would be good. And I assumed he meant from there he would pick things up and be ready to pay his glamours for himself, or, you know, buy the glamours himself next time. And so that was the thing. It's like, whereas Colin, he didn't have any plans. It was just kind of, whatever, I don't want to go to the farm. Toad, at least, was like, yeah, I have to care for my boy. If you give me enough money to cover this, then next time I'll be good, kind of deal. That's what I had in mind. So that's why I didn't send Toad to the farm, even though Colin had been backing me up. Not to say I didn't at all appreciate what Colin did for me. It was awesome. I'm glad they're cool, etc. I am glad that I was able to make up with Colin a little bit at the end there in the truck with the cigarettes and, you know, just the conversation they had. And again, for those of you who are whining in the comments, Colin even said sooner than you think. So look, he's gonna sneak out of the farm again. I'm not a monster. Right. I don't know if there's a ton more to say, but I guess a couple other things. I do think that Snow and Bigby made a pretty good team overall. And when I was really worried about Snow turning into like a terrible, annoying, bossy woman, I mean, she did become more so than at the beginning of the game, but she never got worse than Auntie Greenleaf. I think that's where Snow was at her worst, and I don't think she ever got past that. I think she did get a little bit better after that point as the game went on. And maybe that's because I avoided some of the dialogue options, but I do think that things improved with Snow near the end there. It was good to see, again, things were gradually picking up. Snow was, you know, they were all in the line, and Snow was actually taking, you know, meetings and everything. She was busy, she was on top of it. Hopefully she can keep that up, and she and Bigby together can work to make the community better. Hopefully the other Fables will obviously, you know, pitch in whatever, how they can, and things will work more smoothly. I mean, because of course I want the best for these wonderful, you know, this colorful group of characters. And I guess just to talk about that, the cast I did enjoy overall. Again, you got the really slimy characters that you dislike, but you're supposed to dislike. Beast and Beauty, while not so much fitting that, you know, description, I still didn't really like them, at least near the end, because they were just so whiny and jerkish, and oh, we have to be rich because that's what we're used to, and maintain our appearances and everything, and that was just annoying and weird. So I still don't really like them. Yeah, I'm not sure what else. Again, I really liked this game. It was a good game. I had my hesitations once we started going into the underworld, but it ended up playing out really well for me. Oh, Bloody Mary. I'll talk about that, I guess, really quick. The fight was very interesting. I still don't understand Bloody Mary's powers all that well. I mean, I get the teleportation kind of thing because she can move between reflective surfaces, but I still don't get how fast that can work, because she was doing it, whatever. I don't know if the reflective surface has to be a certain size, or if the reflection has to be clear enough. I don't know why, as a Fable, she had shards of glass in her. That seems weird. But maybe that's way back in the origin of Bloody Mary that I'm unaware of. Is that why she's bloody? I don't know. And then I didn't understand, again, the whole Shadow Clone Jutsu thing, where it was just a bunch of Bloody Marys, but they were made of glass, and even she at the end there was made of glass. Maybe she was always made of glass. I don't know. But the fight was certainly interesting. A little bit discouraging at times, because even when I would get, like, every quick time action, Bigby would miss, and then I would get hit, and so it's like, why am I even doing this then, you know, if it didn't look like I was succeeding. Bigby turning into the actual wolf, the big bad wolf with the huff and puff, that was freaking awesome. I loved that. It looked really cool, and the reference of, you know, the huff puff blow Bloody Mary away, I really enjoyed that. So that was a good last fight overall. And I don't think I have anything else to say right now, which is it will be a bit of a shame if I think of something later, but here's the plan. I actually do plan on reading the rest of the Fables that I haven't read yet. I'm not going to go through and unlock the rest, but, you know, I have unlocked a few more since the last time I read the Fables. So I think that I'll go through it one more time. It'll be a shorter video, obviously, because fewer Fable, you know, things to read, but it'll still be something. That'll be just an unlisted video, but in the playlist. I'll also link it right now. It'll be in the middle of the screen in the annotation whenever that video's up. So, you know, if you're watching this in the future, awesome for you. If not, be patient, just check my playlist now and then, I guess. But during that time, if I think of more complaints or remarks I had about this game, I'll probably say it there. But this has been The Wolf Among Us. Thank you guys for coming along with me. I hope that you enjoyed it. I know that I did, and we're calling it here. So with all that, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed that, and if you did, of course, feel free to like, comment, and if you're new, even subscribe. It means a lot, it really helps me out, and I would love to have you guys. So, tune in next time for the next video, and until then, take care. Cue outro, go!